Katie Price wants you to believe she's about to give you the best of me. But after hearing the upcoming track, I can say with confidence, this is the worst of her. Auto-tune turned up to the max, vocals that sound strained and robotic, lyrics that feel like they were scribbled in 5 minutes, and production so flat it makes karaoke sound polished. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this release isn't just bad. It's a blatant cash grab wrapped in cheap studio effects. And before we dive in, don't forget to hit subscribe. We're bringing you the real truth behind celebrity projects, the ones they don't want you to hear. So let's talk about Best of Me. Katie's been teasing it online, hyping it as the big follow-up to I Got You, the old track that went viral on TikTok and unexpectedly topped iTunes for a hot second earlier this month. That surprise success clearly lit a fire under her. Suddenly, she's back in the studio every day, dancing around on Instagram, promising that this new single will blow us away. But here's the problem, it doesn't. From the very first note, you can hear the flaws. Katie's vocals are weak, painfully weak. Instead of raw emotion or even passable pop delivery, you get something that sounds strained, flat, and almost bored. The producers tried to mask it with layers upon layers of auto-tune, echo, and vocal filters. But the truth shines through. No amount of technology can disguise bad singing. If anything, the overuse of effects makes it worse. Robotic, soulless, and empty. Even when she's belting the so-called chorus, there's no power, no edge. It's like listening to someone in a karaoke booth after 2 glasses of wine, only with expensive software slapped on top. And then there are the lyrics. Best of Me is supposed to be a defiant anthem about showing strength and proving doubters wrong. That's what Katie keeps saying in interviews. But when you actually listen, the words are basic, repetitive, and cliché to the point of embarrassment. Lines like, "You'll never take the best of me," and "I rise above, I'm finally free," sound like rejected drafts from a teenager's diary. There's no storytelling, no clever turns of phrase, no emotional punch, just generic factory-made empowerment buzzwords that don't mean anything. It feels less like a song and more like a motivational fridge magnet set to music. Now, let's address the production. Katie teamed up with DJ Shaye World and rapper Lady Ice for this track, but let's be honest, these are not household names. Shaye World doesn't exactly come with a resume of hits. His catalog is barely known outside of niche dance circles. There are no chart-topping credits, no platinum records, no proof that he can deliver the kind of slick production needed to mask weak vocals and bad lyrics. And it shows. The instrumental of Best of Me is hollow. The beat is flat, the synths sound cheap, and the mix feels amateurish, like something thrown together on a laptop with stock loops. It's missing that polish, that punch, that crispness you'd expect from a serious release. Instead, it feels rushed, a track pushed out quickly in the hopes of capitalizing on Katie's fleeting TikTok moment. And let's not pretend this is some bold new artistic venture. Katie has been trying to break into music for over 20 years, and it has never worked. Remember 2005, when she tried to enter Eurovision with Not Just Anybody? She lost out, and for good reason. The vocals were shaky, the performance forgettable. Then came the Duets album with Peter Andre, featuring A Whole New World. Sweet in theory, cringe in practice. They promoted it endlessly, but it was mocked more than celebrated. And who could forget Free to Love Again? A dance single so forgettable it failed to chart at all. Her only brush with chart success was I Got You, and let's be real, that wasn't because of Katie's talent. It was a TikTok quirk, a novelty moment, nostalgia dressed up as virality. Best of Me is her desperate attempt to ride that wave. But waves crash, and this one has already passed. Listening to this track, you can't help but feel like Katie isn't giving us music. She's giving us marketing. This isn't about artistry. It isn't about passion. It's about cashing in while her name is still in the headlines. Everything about it screams rush job. From the generic lyrics to the over-processed vocals to the bargain bin beat, It feels like something recorded in a weekend and shoved out to streaming platforms, and yet Katy will hype it. She'll say it's her big comeback, she'll film glossy music videos with flashing lights and dramatic poses. She'll tell her fans it's an anthem, a game changer, a new era. But strip away the visuals and the PR spin, and you're left with what it really is. A cheap, poorly made, disposable track that no serious artist would dare put their name on. The saddest part? Katy Price doesn't need to do this. She's a household name. She's survived more scandals and reinventions than almost anyone in British showbiz. She could lean into TV, books, business, anything with substance. But instead, she's back in the recording booth, trying to convince us she's a pop star when all evidence says otherwise. And here's the brutal truth. She can't sing. She's never been able to sing. And no amount of autotune, filters, or overhyped production will ever change that. The fact that producers are willing to slap their names on this track says less about Katy's talent and more about their desperation for clout. So what happens when Best of Me finally drops? It'll make some noise. Her loyal fans will stream it, tabloids will cover it, TikTok might even mock it into a few clips. But musically, it's dead on arrival. It won't climb charts, it won't stick around, and it won't be remembered. In 6 months, nobody will be humming this tune. Nobody will be quoting its lyrics. It'll vanish, just like every other Katy Price single before it. Katy Price wants the world to believe she's finally cracked the code, that this is her moment, her big break. But the truth? Best of Me proves the opposite. It proves that 20 years on, Katy is still chasing a dream that was never meant to be. And instead of artistry, we're left with a cheap gimmick dressed up as a song. If this is the best of Katy Price, then maybe it's time to admit we've already heard the worst. Thanks for sticking with me all the way through this breakdown. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more brutally honest takes on celebrity projects, make sure you hit subscribe right now, because tomorrow we're exposing another so-called comeback that's not what it seems.